guys are having a good night. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just gonna try to get the chat up and ready. Alright, perfect. This way I can see. Alright, so I hope you guys are having a great night. And if you're in the United States, I hope you had a good long weekend. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans who served. Yesterday I spent relaxing because I had an amazing time at Mojo Sews Sewing Weekend. It was absolutely incredible. We had so much fun. I'm so grateful to everybody who attended. I felt like I walked away with like 20 new friends. So it was an amazing experience. And thank you so much to Michelle from Mojo Sews for hosting the sewing weekend and allowing us to come out to her studio and really organizing and putting it all together. Oh. Hey Nikki. Hi Nicole. How are you guys doing tonight? I wasn't sure how many people would join because I know I've been doing it regularly on Tuesdays, but I usually try to like promote it and put it in places, but I've been so tired. I literally just cut out everything about an hour ago. Hey Liz. So tonight I cut out a Peekaboo beauty bag. So while I was out at Mojo Sews Studio, I went shopping and she had this super cute Pokemon print. So my boyfriend asked me, we use the Peekaboo beauty bag for like toiletries. So he asked me to make a new one for him with this print. So normally Lauren has like the center panel and the two sides. So I have cut it out to be one solid exterior. I had a relaxing day hanging out at home, fire going. Oh, that sounds really, really nice. Yeah, yesterday was so warm in New York City. It was like mid 70s, like super hot for November, and then today was in the 50s. It dropped like so much. Hey Sean, how's it going? So like I said, thank you so much for hopping on with me. I changed out my thread since this is like Christmas theme. I changed it out to Wizardry Stitchery's, what do they call it? Candy cane. So I'm just going to test it real quick to make sure my tension is okay. Aw, thanks Nikki, I'm so glad. You went live? I know, I just saw, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch them, and I just saw Liz that you posted either earlier today or yesterday that I saw about the raglan tee. So I need to go back and definitely watch a few videos. Hi Arnetta. I had to work today. Yeah, today was back to regular work. Thankfully Tuesday's a remote day, so not quite as strenuous as going into the office. All stuffing Christmas cards. That's exciting. I love with all the holidays coming up. Yeah, this weekend out at Michelle's in Pennsylvania was just so nice. I only took like a few pictures and I wasn't on social media that much, and it was just so nice just to be like present and experiencing everything. Oh my god, Mojo Sews was amazing. It was the first time that I met Michelle in person, and she is just such a sweetheart. There was six of us teachers and 10 attendees. We had people come and visit for the day, and it was just such a nice community because it was just a small group of people. I honestly feel like I walked away with like 20 new friends, like no joke. Hi Io. Io was there. Got to meet her and her mom. Yes, seriously. Io's mom had me cracking up. I swear my face still hurts from laughing. So it was really, really nice. I feel so lucky to be a part of it. And Michelle is planning another weekend next year. So I'm excited to be able to teach again and attend. So it was amazing. So I just grabbed a scrap of zipper tape. I'm gonna start with that. And I honestly thought that I would have to cut it, but I think it's gonna work perfect. I'm gonna put strap or yeah, zipper ends or zipper tabs on each end. I know, I'm so glad to hear that. It was like I just feel so blessed to be a part of the community and like walk away with so many good memories. We got home. Jason and I left. It was only about 2 hours a ride home, so much less time coming back than going. But Michelle is so close. I'm like, I'm gonna come out and visit again. The other cool thing was there was everybody, or 8 out of 10 were from like the Northeast region. So like Boston, Maryland, Jersey, DC, and the two furthest people came from Canada and Florida. So it was great. It's been nice to see everybody's pictures. Nikki, what were you sewing up today? Was it bags on your lives? Oh, in Minnesota. Maybe we have to get one going out there. Have like a traveling one. Arnetta, you're in the DC area. You got to come next time. Oh, Nikki, that is so funny. That's awesome. I can't wait to watch them. Yeah, so for my filming, I have an I can't talk, iPhone 14 Pro Max. And that's what I use to both film my regular tutorials and also like the live now. That's what I'm using. Oh no, Nikki. I bought one of those like those extra outlet things. So instead of having two outlets, you plug it in and it has 3 outlets along the top, but it also has 2 USB ports. So I have my machine plugged into it, and then I have a cord running from the wall or the USB port to my phone just to make sure that doesn't happen, because that's like my paranoia. I have this super cute Pikachu zipper pull. This was from New Moxie. I had ordered a whole bunch of Pokemon pulls for a strike before, and so I thought this would match perfect. And I'm using this black, we call it Majestic tape in our shop. When the light hits it, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it has like a blue-green shift right now, but depending on what materials it's next to, it can pick up different colors. Oh, yay, Arnetta, we'd love to have you. Yeah, Michelle doesn't have dates or anything set. She's looking at locations, but we're all like, we need to do this again. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the wattage is for the charger, but they do make like the super fast ones that they use for tablets and stuff. If you get one like that, you should probably be okay. So what I'm doing is I'm using the lining cutouts for the box corners, and it makes it, I don't know, that's probably about a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. I like my zipper tabs a little bit longer, and I always top stitch the top and the bottom, so the zipper, I'm always afraid it's going to get pulled out if it gets tugged too hard. Yeah, and thank you again all for joining me tonight. Like I said, I wasn't sure uh, who would be on, because normally I try to post a little bit more ahead of time. I was telling Jason earlier, I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to sew tonight. I have a couple backpacks cut out, but I want to film them as like actual tutorials with timestamps and such. So he's like, I could use a new toiletry bag. And I was like, all right, awesome idea. This is perfect. Yeah, I love the peekaboo as well. It just comes together like so quick. It's so cute. And I feel like it holds like a really good amount of stuff. So it's perfect for traveling, and I don't really wear makeup anymore. If I do, I have to be really careful because my skin has become so sensitive to it. So I just put like literally like, shampoo, hairbrush, like actual toiletries, and it's plenty big enough for everything that I carry. No problem, Liz. I'm glad you could make it this week. Like I said, I just appreciate everyone joining in, helping me catch up with hours. I had like 200 hours drop off this month, so I'm trying to catch back up. Aw, the new babies. What did you get? Kitties? Is that what you got? I think you have cats. I think I saw in the video sneak peek that there was a kitty. So I have no idea how this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try to add a like basically like a slip pocket, but like mesh slip pockets. So I have some fold over elastic that I'm gonna try to put along the top, like stretch it out, and then see how this works out. Aw, 2 kittens. Cute. They must be keeping you busy though. Alright, so what I'm also doing is I'm just going to try to stretch this and sew at the same time, because this I just cut much smaller than the length, because I cut my mesh much wider. I'm hoping that I could pleat it at the bottom so that way it will expand a little bit. Oh, Liz, I have to catch up. I've been so bad. And I forgot that Sunday I ended up running errands when you're like, I'm going to do a shirt. Then I was like, oh no, I told Liz. I probably should match black thread with this, just because I know I'm gonna wobble with it, but it's just for Jason, so hopefully you don't mind. Yeah, this coming weekend, November's a busy month. This past weekend I was out in Pennsylvania at Mojo Sews. Then this coming weekend I'm doing a craft fair back at my hometown's church, which it's just small, but it's nice. Like what I do for that is any bags that I haven't sold and just small stuff, I just take everything home. I don't make anything new to prepare for it, and just hope if people want something, they want it, And then with Thanksgiving this month, and at the end of the month, we have another sewing marathon, which we're doing the chameleon bag from Oso Gecko. which I printed it out the other night, but I haven't cut it out yet. Which I'm excited to do, because there's different ways to piece the bag together. So I'm looking forward to that. And she sews a lot with cork, because she's in Spain, like right where some of the cork trees grow. So I'm super excited. I think I'm going to try to do cork as well. I'm sorry if this is hard to see right now. I'm stretching the fold over elastic as far as I can. Double-sided tape probably would have worked well here, but if I sew through it, my machine does not like that. So I'm hoping that by doing it this way, I catch everything. And my machine likes it when I stretch the fold over elastic. So I'm hoping by doing this, it catches everything. Oh, Liz, you're doing the applique. I would love to do the applique. It looks adorable, but I'm just worried that with being away this past weekend and this coming one that I just won't have enough time. But I totally want to make a gingerbread house one for Christmas. Maybe I can fit it in. Probably not for the actual marathon, but like personally once she releases the files. All right, is anyone else sewing up tonight, anything, or just relaxing? Yeah, Nikki, sometimes I do a practice and sometimes I just go for it and hope for the best. Usually I read through and try to get an understanding of the instructions. Ooh, a strike. I can't wait to see. Nicole, it is the Chameleon bag by Oh So Gecko. She's located in Spain and has her patterns in both French and English. And so that once a month, there's a group of us called the Marathon Society, and we do a marathon on YouTube on a Saturday. So this coming one is that bag. I believe it's November 30th, so after Thanksgiving here. Aw, Arnetta, you're knitting. Alright, so I think this is gonna work. What I'm gonna do is stitch down my sides first, and then stitch down the center, and then I'll pleat in the edges here, I think. I'm gonna have to also eventually cut out the box corners, but I figured that this might work best while live on camera trying to figure it out. And there's a little like swoop here, but I did catch all the mesh in that fold over elastic, so I'm not too worried about it. Io. Yeah, if you need any help, let me know, Io. I would be glad to go live with you, or obviously not live on YouTube together, but like FaceTime call or Zoom or anything. Oh no, Liz. I feel like allergies have been so bad for people because, or at least here in New York, like One day it's hot, one day it's cold. Like, it's really not making up its mind what it wants the weather to be. Oh, perfect, IO, yes. All of them have the timestamps, which is like my personal preference too, so if I get stuck on a part, I can find it fairly easy. Oh, yeah, Nikki. So I don't know what you use to put your video tutorials together, but what I try to do with timestamps is when I add the captions in Adobe, I'll scroll through them and write down the timing as I'm uploading the bag. So that way I already have like the different times laid out, so I don't have to necessarily re-watch it. For me, it's easier to read through the captions because obviously I'm talking, explaining each step. And I also have a really bad habit in my tutorials going, okay, so now I blah blah blah. So whenever I see an okay, I know that I'm probably transitioning to the next step of something. Oh, I'm so glad, Arnetta. I appreciate that feedback. Yeah, if it's like a short video, I don't mind. But if it's like a longer video, I really love timestamps. So since that's my like personal preference, I try to put them in as many videos as possible. Obviously, except for the lives, which are hard because it's not like pre-recorded or anything. Oh, that's funny. Next, grab your. Yeah, I feel like everybody has like a certain thing that they tend to repeat. So what I just did is I top stitched down the side and around the corners. Oh, something's interrupting. Oh, that was so odd. I don't know. So if your screen just went black on your end, I'm really sorry. I don't know what just interrupted. But yeah, so what I am doing is I am going to stitch down the center and then pleat these so that way I have the pockets. And just give me a sec. I'm sorry. I'm also trying to I like to, when I go live on Tuesdays, live stream to TikTok as well. So I just had to fix something over there on my settings. All right, so let's do this. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at comments, and all of a sudden, like the video looked like it went completely black. I was like, oh no, what happened on my phone? And I just folded this in half. I probably could totally like measure it, but it doesn't need to be 100% even. Hi, Mary Lou. Oh, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure meeting you. I was on the live as well. I'm so glad you like the pattern too. And I love how you adapted the slip pocket. So we made the willow wristlet. That was the class that I taught at Mojo Sews Sewing Weekend. And Mary Lou was like, I don't like card slots. I'm gonna do a slip pocket. And she even put like extra, like a little border on the top, or you know, like a trim piece. It looks so cute. So that's an option as well, Io. If you don't want card slots, Mary Lou totally adapted the card slot piece to become a slip pocket. Alright, so I just stitched down the center so that way I'll have 2 slip pockets, and I'm just gonna do like a little pleat in the center and stitch along the bottom. And I know that this is gonna get caught up in that bottom seam, but I didn't want to have to try to you know, do another, like a, what is it, like another piece of fold over elastic along the bottom here. I just figured that's okay if it goes into the bottom of the bag. So this vinyl that I got from Mojo Sews, as my class was like finishing up, I was shopping all her goodies. So if you didn't catch it in the beginning, this Pokemon vinyl is from Michelle. I put a link in the description too to both Lauren Mormino's pattern, which is the Peekaboo Beauty bag I'm making, and to Michelle's Mojo Sews website. Alright, so that's one side of the lining, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. This mesh that I'm using is a sample from a supplier that I was considering bringing to the shop. I love using mesh for interior pockets. Or like on beach totes and stuff, the outside. Or anything that's gonna get like wet. It's also great. Oh, Mary Lou, I'm so happy to hear that about the fold over elastic. Yeah, especially on my particular machine, it just does so much better. So like with this one, I can't sew it together, but if you'll notice, I've cut it so much shorter than the mesh piece. So what I'm doing is I'm only clipping it in the beginning, and once I get my first couple stitches in, I'm literally just gonna pull it back and stretch it on my machine. It helps grab it so much better that way for me. I think one thing that I really also loved about this weekend was it makes me so glad to hear that you guys learned a few things from me, but I also learned so much from you. I really appreciated everybody, you know, sharing their little tips as we were sewing the bag together. So see, I don't know, it probably comes off the screen a little bit because I'm pulling so far back from my machine. But I'm just pulling it and trying to make sure that mesh is centered inside. Or if you have a machine that doesn't mind double-sided tape or an industrial, that would probably work great. Or if I was patient, a glue stick, but I don't have those patience. Not for this anyways. Hi, Krista. That's really funny, Krista. Your mom. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna make. And then Jason asked for a new toiletry bag, and I was like, oh, that's perfect for my Tuesday Live. It's quick, I can cut it out quick. So I'm really excited. It's working out great. So funny. I talk to my family every night too. So on Tuesday nights now, my parents and my sister, I always call them at 7. Or my mom gets home a little bit out of work between 7 and 8. So sometimes she calls during the live, and then I just call her back. And then so I just am going to repeat the same process and top stitch around the side and around that corner cutout, or yeah, box bottom cutout. I'm super excited about the variegated thread. I hadn't used the Christmas colors before yet, so I cut my thread too short, so it just came out of the needle. There we go. So Krista, I'm assuming you use the same machine then to sew and embroider, like a combination one? Liz, it's a great pattern. And actually when I linked Lauren's page earlier to the pattern, I actually think it's on sale. The other thing I like this is that you don't have to use it just for, oh, the thread, not the pattern. Yeah, the thread, I think I own every variegated that Wizardry has in Text 35. If I can use a variegated, that's always my first choice. this pattern sells pretty good at the craft fairs and stuff too, because it's nice. You don't have to use it just for toiletries. You could use it literally for anything. Yeah, I do the same thing. Chris, I have a serger. But it's like, all right, if this is set up, I can't do this right now. Or earlier, or not earlier, but last week when I was quilting, I was like, what else can I do on the machine while it's all set up for quilting? Because I use obviously a different tension and thread and everything. It was funny at the retreat, everybody was talking about all the different machines, and it's so cool to hear how many everybody has and what they use them for. Oh, that is the Creative Maker Place, Maker Case. Is that the one from Studio 77? There's one from Emma, that I think it holds like art supplies and stuff that I really, really want to make for my nieces. Oh, the pattern for So Sweet. All right, I'll have to look at that one. Maybe that would be a good idea too. Yeah, my nieces love my bags. When they see them, they're always like, Auntie, can I have this one? Can I have that one? So I'm sure when I go home this weekend, they'll want to claim some of these. Oh, wow, that's great to know. Alright, I'm just gonna pull this completely out and rethread it real quick. The tension is a little loose on the bottom. I'm not too worried about it because it's gonna end up being sewn over again. But next step, I'm sewing down the center line, so I want to make sure that that one's gonna hold. Every time I get the thread in the eye of the needle, it just keeps falling back out, and should grab some tweezers to help pull it through. Alright, finally. 10th time's the charm. And again, I'm using waterproof canvas for the lining. This is the Pro Tough brand from Walmart. So when I just folded it to center, it kind of marks a crease that's still visible. So I'm just using that. Like I said, for the last lining piece, I'm not so concerned that it's like perfect or anything. Alright, and again I'm just going to pleat the bottoms on each side and base that down as well. All right, yay, perfect. So I purposely made the mesh a little bit wider and pleated at the bottom, so that way these pockets would expand and could be, I feel like, a little bit more useful inside of the bag. And this is the first time I've ever tried to put pockets inside, or slip pockets or anything. So hopefully it turns out good. So far I think it will. Alright. So I'm going to find the center real quick. And I'm just going to mark it with the silver marking pen. And I just put tabs on both ends of my zipper. I was debating if I wanted to fold one at the end, like the 90-degree angle, so it opens wider. But I think for the pouch, it's fine. It's not like a deep purse or anything like that. And I'm just marking my centers of the vinyl, and I'm gonna do it for the lining as well. So I'm curious, I saw a comment in one of the bag making groups, and it was a woman that came from like garment making, and she said that, or she was asking why bag makers mark stuff as they go along. You know, she's used to marking it all ahead of time. And I know that I do it just because sometimes I forget, or I feel like things can shift. But then it made me curious. Do you mark all your centers ahead of time, or do you do it as you go along? Because now I'm super curious. It's funny, while at the sewing weekend, I was asking everybody, like, what do you do? Because I'm just so curious. I feel like that's how I learned. And, you know, we all can share things with each other. We might do things differently that we don't even think about. Oh, Liz, as you go. Yeah, I find it like most easiest for me that way. Another tip that I have, if you struggle with wavy zippers, that even as I clip them, I move my zipper pull to the left and the right. Otherwise you can get a little bump here. So I know that a lot of patterns say to do it while you're sewing, but I also do it while I'm clipping. Yeah, so Nikki, Arnetta, beginning. Yeah, Krista. Oh yeah, foam can be a little bit tricky. I guess it depends on the certain step. If it's something that I need like super precise with interfacing and stuff, I will try to remember to mark ahead, but for the most part I just do it as I go. Even for these lives, I really had to get in the habit of having everything prepared, because when I'm sewing in my craft room by myself, I do things as I'm going along. Like, so for example, this zipper would have never been cut out already. When I got to the zipper part, I like would have went to my drawer, grabbed the zipper tape, then would have, cut it. So doing lives has definitely prepared me to think ahead of different steps that I need to do first. And I'm just switching out to a zipper foot for adding the lining. And like even this, I marked the center, but half the time I'll just match up the edges first instead of marking at the center. Yeah, Nikki, same thing. So mine are in, I have one of those like drawer cart things from IKEA that I have them rolled up in there. I have some hanging behind a door that are like super long. And then half the other time I go raid zippers from the back room where we have the storage for our shop. So I don't know if you also struggle with sewing water resistant canvas, but the water resistant canvas that has the PVC backing, the plasticky kind, if I sew it face up against my zipper foot, it sticks. So I get like those really shortened stitches. So if I'm sewing it face up, I always use a Teflon foot, or in this case, I don't have a Teflon zipper foot. So I'm going to put it down along my feed dogs and sew with the vinyl right side up. So just a little tip if you ever struggle with the PVC side. Oh yeah, Nikki, I do the same thing. Hardware, zippers, pulls, all of it. And I usually try to make sure I at least have all my pieces cut and interfaced, but I've also been known to like forget pieces too and then have to go and cut something. Oh, good to know, Nikki. Yeah, I try to do the same thing, and if I'm, like I said, if I'm using water proof canvas on both sides, then definitely the Teflon foot. That's really funny, Nicole. Yeah, I have my stuff like hardware and some zipper pulls pretty organized. For last Christmas, I asked for one of those plastic like drawer things from I think it was like Lowe's or Home Depot, and I keep all my zipper pulls and some of my hardware in that. Yeah, so I have this Teflon foot, which is great for top stitching, but I need to get a smaller one for a zipper foot. And the other thing that I don't like is one side is wider than the other, so I have to like maneuver my top stitching so it's on this side, and sometimes like it's at an awkward side for me. Alright. And I'm gonna pull this back. I'm actually gonna switch to it in a second because I'm gonna top stitch this. And I'm just making sure that I tug it back really well because I've been known to not do that, and sometimes you can see here where it wants to, the water resistant cable wants to kind of come up, and if I don't tug it, then I've top stitched it and my zipper gets stuck. Ooh, I like that idea, Nicole. Oh, Nikki, I'd love to see. Yeah. I mean, it's been like last New Year's, I moved my whole sewing craft room around. Right now it looks like a disaster because I have like 50 different projects going on, but I hope once I film the 2 backpack tutorials and I have the Cotton Cuts quilt hanging up behind me, I need to add some borders to that to try to organize everything. I never did a YouTube video of my sewing room because it's like a very small bedroom. It's like 8 by 10, I think. But I did do a TikTok of before and after, and before was really bad. I was joking with Mary Lou this weekend. She told us she loves to clean. I was like, Mary Lou, I need you to come clean my craft room. Help me organize. And then the other thing is I'm only top stitching from zipper tab to zipper tab. If you sew, you probably already know that, but if you're new to it, that's how you get like those edges that kind of like pucker in instead of that nice crisp edge. I'm also one of those people where like my craft room looks chaotic, but I still know where every single thing is. Yeah, a shed. I know, living in New York City, it's like we don't have sheds or basements or, you know, anything. Thankfully, I'm fortunate enough to at least have the extra bedroom space. That's really funny, Nikki. Yeah, I definitely have a stack. One of my cousins asked me for like a manatee H2O to go literally probably like a year and a half ago. And I have it almost all cut out except I ran out of one color of water resistant canvas. She's gonna be like so surprised when I actually finally finish it and give it to her. See, that's great, Liz. I always say to people too, like, you know, no one, like, wherever you can sew, as long as you're able to sew, cool. Like, it's awesome to have, you know, all this space and everything, but as long as you have an area where you can put your machine and sew, I figure then that means we're fortunate. I also, like, I don't have TV or anything in here, So sometimes when I'm sewing, I'll listen, like, watch YouTube videos or listen to them on the computer. But I also like bringing, sorry, I was like thinking, I was like, oh my god, did I do this wrong? Bringing my stuff out into the living room to cut it and work on it out there too. Yeah, see, Nikki, that's awesome. Like, we all start somewhere. And like, I don't have kids, so that's why we have the bedroom. If we did, then I'd be like out on the kitchen table. See you, Nadia. When I go home to Connecticut, that's where I sew too, on my parents' kitchen table. Right, so now I'm just adding the last, the second lining. Putting that right sides together. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate it so much. I know last year I did a video in November, so I know I'll have more hours falling off for that one. But right now I'm back to about 250 hours away from being monetized. Like I said, I think by Christmas. So that's my hope. Oh my god, Nikki, that is so funny. I think I probably would have kicked him out too. And this vinyl's really great. It has like the soft white backing, but it's not as like fluffy as some of the other soft white backings. It's sewing great on my domestic. And I didn't interface it. I didn't interface that or the water resisting or waterproof canvas because it's the PVC kind. I'm the same thing, Nikki. That's why I have 2 backpacks cut out. I'm like, okay, if I film those tutorials and get them, I think it will help between that and then the 2 more videos by the end of the year for the Marathon Society. I think I'll get the hours. Oh, that's really cool that he's a musician, though. Did you add soundproofing so that way you don't have to hear it, or? So. Alright, so I'm just tugging this side again to make sure that waterproof canvas doesn't get caught up in that zipper. This fabric is so adorable. I'm gonna have to figure out what else I can make for him with it. Or vinyl, I should say. It's cute. We got this Christmas themed one, and she also had a cute Halloween themed one with the Pokemon with like costumes. Aw, that's great, Liz. Yeah, see, I started my channel before I started doing marathons, but the marathons are the reason how I have gained so many followers, and also, or followers and hours, and the same thing with these Tuesday night lives. They've really, really been helping. And like I said before, they help keep me motivated. Part of me was like, I'm so tired. But I was like, no, it's Tuesday. Like, I pushed myself. I'm like, no, you can cut out something. But that's why I didn't really have anything really posted or promoted earlier. And I think I cut this bag out tonight at like 6:30. But it brings me so much joy chatting with everybody and whatnot. So I'm so happy. Yeah, Liz, definitely. Like, the consistency on YouTube really, really helps. Oh, Arnetta, thank you. See, I love that, knowing that it came from the marathon. Like, sometimes on YouTube, it will obviously tell you when you get, like, new followers or subscribers, but it doesn't necessarily show like where they found you, or you can click into like the video and it will say, like, if someone watches your video and then follows you, it will show like a count but not who. So it's really cool to know, like, was it through a marathon, was it like random search. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, Nikki, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily antisocial. I actually really like being social and chatting with everybody, but then I feel like I need quiet. So I need like a combination. So that was me yesterday. Like, all weekend, first of all, I was so tired. We were up so late and then sewing early in the morning. So yesterday I was like, we ran some errands to like the grocery store and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Aw, thanks, Nikki. Yeah, your bag, I loved sewing the greedy clutch. I can't talk tonight, sorry. But I love how that pattern came together. I feel like I need to make like a fancy one. I think it would be like a really cool going out for like the night bag. I'm just checking my stitching. So I think everything looks really good. So now I'm just gonna put them exterior side together. Yeah, it's going out, right? I know, I like really don't go out. We try to go to concerts and stuff, but that's, or like like a holiday party or something. I don't know. I just feel like it's a great bag that you could be super casual with it or make it look like really fancy. That's so cool. I love when people get inspiration from your patterns and just like make something with it, of their own creation. Because especially with all your spooky inspired flaps, I'm sure people were really, really inspired by that. I want to try to do the skull one. I had trouble picking which style I was going to do for the flap for the marathon, but then I remembered I had the white glow in the dark, and I was like, oh, I totally want to make a glow in the dark spider web. Yeah, I'm the same way, Nikki. I love seeing people adapt to my patterns. I'm like, definitely do something and please show me, because that's just so inspiring to me. It just fills me with so much joy. Like, it makes my heart so full to see people like making your pattern. Alright, I have to remember to leave a turning hole in this side. I think I'm going to sew all of it with a Teflon foot, because this is what I was talking about when it gets like two sides of the waterproof canvas, and I just hope it doesn't drag on this vinyl side. Oh, I love that I said I was going to use a Teflon foot, and I totally just put a regular foot on. Alright. What I might do is just sew over it and then switch. That actually didn't go too bad, so I'm going to do the other side and then see. I have to do like a heart. Liz, if you make that, that would be so cool. You have to share. My work bag right now, I carry like a regular like school kids backpack to work if I'm in the office, but if I'm going to observe the teachers, right now I have a Tuesday tote, which is like perfect for my iPad and just like a notebook, like a smaller thing to bring. So I love using bright colors in my bags. And it was really funny because this weekend when I was making kits, I made 2 red ones. But I was like, oh, all right, I'm not going to make more than 2. And it was like out of the red lace. And that ended up being one of the more popular ones. So I ended up cutting a couple more kits, and then all the rolls of the red lace vinyl that we had sold. So that was really cool too, because I feel like a lot of people at the sewing weekend had similar tastes in fabric that I enjoy. So on this first side, did I increase the seam allowance? I didn't really increase the seam allowance, so I'm just gonna sew down a little bit to make it so that lining is a little bit less, like, what's it called? So it's not as bulky, it won't be as loose on the sides. Right, and I remember to keep my turning hole, so that's good. Yeah, that's true, Nikki. I haven't made one. I feel like that would be really good yet for like to carry my iPad and stuff. But my regular purse that I carry with like my wallet and stuff is an Addy shoulder bag, and I made it smaller, like a crossbody size. Liz, with the candy corn bag, is that the one from Sweetly Unique from Megan? Like, is that the candy corn that you're talking about? I love that pattern. It's so cute. Alright, I'm just boxing the corners now. I didn't think about it on the sides. I didn't sew a double stitch along the vinyl, like a double row of stitching in case it pulls. I think it's okay. Like I said, it's just for Jason, so I'm not selling this if it shows a little bit. Honestly, he probably won't notice. Every time I make a bag, I go out to him and I'm like, do you notice anything? Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. A mini one. I've totally done that where I've finished a bag and have forgotten anchors, zipper, like you name it. But you know what, Liz, though? Like, I love videos like that because I used to get so frustrated with, like, not all videos, but like when I was learning, I would always see videos, they never showed any mistakes. And I was just like, how are these always perfect? Or like, how do you fix this? So I love seeing videos like that. I was talking this weekend about when I first started too, like I didn't know about like, you know, waterproof canvas and stuff that didn't fray. So I would cut out my bag patterns and be like, why does my material keep looking like this with the edges and other people's don't? Alright, so I got the vinyl side, now I just gotta box the waterproof canvas side. Hi Sandy, hi Lucy, thanks for joining in. Yeah, see, Nikki, that's so good because like that's how I learn, and I think people appreciate that too, you know? I think it also is like realistic, and that even even someone who's been sewing for years still makes silly mistakes sometimes. Hi Tracy. Thanks everyone. Love everybody joining in and saying hi. It's so funny because I honestly thought, I was like, oh, I might be talking to myself tonight. So I'm so glad all of you are on with me. Thanks, Cindy. Oh, Liz, seriously, with this weather, oh, Jason, I was like, it feels like midnight, and it was only 6, and I'm like, and the worst part is, it's still gonna get dark earlier until the winter solstice. Nikki, don't put that thought in my head. I'm just trying to press open the seam a little bit so it will lay flat. And I'm going to trim down all the seams. And then, I'm probably off the screen right now. I just have a garbage can underneath me, so I'm trimming it directly into that right now. I'm debating if I want to trim down. Sometimes I trim like my exterior on the vinyl side, sometimes not. I might a little bit though, since it's my phone is plugged in. Hi, Arnetta. So I'm using my phone, and my phone died, even though I have it plugged in. And it's funny because Nikki was talking about earlier how her phone died. So I'm hoping it lasts long enough while I'm turning this bag out that you guys can see it. Alright, finally caught up on my iPad where I can see that it is. I am so sorry. See, this is what happens when we were talking about, like, maybe I'll be talking to myself. I did end up talking to myself. And I'm not sure if you heard, Nikki, but I literally have my phone plugged in and it did the same thing. So, but it wasn't very charged when I started, so that was probably my issue too. My own fault there. But I'm almost done, so hopefully it stays before it cuts out again. I know, Liz, right? We like spoke it into existence. The weirdest thing is that I had the iPhone, so it died, so it had like the red battery charging symbol, but I could still type in the chat and it was like still active. So as soon as it kicked back in, I was able to resume. Alright, I'm just using a chopstick to help me push out these corners. Yeah, exactly, like, see, here's the cord. It's actually plugged in. I guess now I need to make sure it's fully charged because I guess that live, like you said, Nikki, was pulling more power. That's funny. That's a first for me. All right, so I have the edges or the corners poked out, and I'm gonna just smooth out the bottom real quick, and then the lining, I'm gonna seal it up. And I'm not going to match the thread or anything. I could, but it's in the bottom of the bag, so I'm just gonna go with the candy cane thread. Yeah, I thought because mine was plugged in, I really didn't expect to die like that. But now I know for next time to really double check that. Well, I thank those of you who did it hop off real quick. Alright, so I'm going to tuck that back in. It's so funny because this water resistant canvas, I feel like it's a balloon inside right now. There's like air trapped. Right, so it's so hard to see because of the the lighting, but it has the slip pockets on both sides, and I sealed up the bottom, and this is what it looks like from the front and back. So instead of having the normal, not normal, but like has the pattern was written with like the centerpiece and the two complementary sides, I just did the whole one pattern piece. No, Liz, it was just me playing tricks on everybody. So, all right, well, I really, really appreciate all of you hopping on, whether it was the YouTube live or the TikTok live, sewing this up with me. Again, it's the Peekaboo Beauty Bag from More Me Know. I linked it in the description. The vinyl is from Mojo Sews. I linked her shop as well. Yeah, thanks so much. I'm so excited. I'm going to put some pictures on social media, let you know. I'm sure, hopefully it'll be Jason approved. I think so. I'm super, super happy with it. I'm glad how it came out, and I'm so happy I just happened to have the matching zipper pull as well. So, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great night and a great rest of your week, and I'll be active on social media, but I'll definitely be back on next Tuesday chatting with everybody, and I'll make sure that my phone is fully charged before I start. So, I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.